So in closing, men, now specifically to you, I want you to do 4 things I want you to check. Number 1, when you out here dating again, post-divorce, you seeing women, I want you to not fall into the same pattern of trying to reparent a woman. Look, I'm down with a power dynamic, dominant and submissive relationship all day, every day. Absolutely. But I am not trying to be a woman's parent. And if she calls me daddy, it's going to be in a whole different context than me trying to be her parent. But for a lot of you, you still are in the same boat. Remember, we're 50, but we don't date like we're 15. So if you're looking for a total frame off reclamation project, more power to you. I'm not. And at your age, I probably think you shouldn't be. Even if you're messing with the hot 25-year-old, do you really want to be a parent to her? So try not to reparent. And if you're using that classic terminology of being codependent, and since everybody wants to say they've been with a narcissist, then the opposite of that is the person, the codependent in the relationship. So if you turn out to be her parent, then now you're being that typical codependent dude. And I bet that's probably what you did with your first wife or second wife or third wife, or what you've done with many other women. Can you walk away from red flags? I've always had an easy time getting into a relationship. And I told my sons, really, for most men, as long as you ain't really a jacked up dude, you can get into a relationship pretty easily. That's why a lot of you divorced guys are probably going to run and go get married again real fast. You can get into a relationship really easily, but can you walk away from the red flags? Can you say, I'm not down with this. I'm not down with this. I got to go. Most men can't. Most of us have a graveyard of past relationships that we probably said, I should have left that relationship after date 2. Probably should have bounced after date 1, but I didn't. Now here I am back to the aforementioned paying child support, or ended up marrying her because I thought she was the only one. I thought because she said she loved me and she was going to be with me forever, and, or you're going to be a G about it. Yeah, it's just she was in love with me, and I just did it anyway. As I said, most men got married because it sounded like a good idea at the time, because they couldn't walk away from red flags. And I think oftentimes we as men don't even know what the red flags are because we never even thought about it. Number 3, state boundaries calmly and keep them. As a man, you need to have your own boundaries. You state them calmly, no drama, not emotional, and you keep them. That's a good example for the woman that you're vetting, and it's also a good example for your own daughter. And then model repair. Make a commitment that you're going to model repair, whether that's by apologizing, and that's by following through, being a man of your word. Your wife or your ex-wife, or even the woman you're dealing with, I guarantee you she does not consider a part of her core identity to be a woman of her word. We don't even have that phrase that exists in our vernacular. There's a reason why it doesn't, because you are always expected to be a man of your word. Do that. Model repair in a relationship for your woman and for your daughter. You see, both of these go hand in hand. If you can't handle the relationship with your woman, you probably won't be able to handle a relationship and didn't handle them too well with your daughter. You show me a man that lets his daughter get away with everything, I bet you I'll show you a man that lets his woman get away with everything. And a lot of us guys are over 50 doing the exact same thing. And that's why I'm always saying Iron Father is about teaching men how to recalibrate, restore, and thrive. Stop making the same mistakes you did previously. When are you going to learn? We don't have that much runway left. When are we going to learn? So I'm about to close this out real fast. Consistency over chaos. Reward consistency. That's a good thing. See how consistent she's been in her life and other people, with how consistent she's been with other people in her life. Or is she all about chaos? Respect scripts. What scripts are going through this woman's head? Does she understand respect? Has she ever seen it modeled by her own dad at home? Provision and control. Does she see money as a way of control? Or does she see a man as always trying to control her with money? If she's only seen that bad example, it's going to be rough for you. But do you model it as well? Loyalty wounds. This is probably one of my biggest ones. I should have started this as number 1. Does she clamp down on you because she's not accustomed to loyalty? And if the very first man in her life that was designed to do the other 4 for her isn't even loyal to her and there for her, sir, what do you think you're going to be able to do? You will never be able to fill that void that's in her life. And she has to have done a whole lot of work on her own to be able to understand when a man does offer her provisioning, control, all the other things she wants. But basically, when a man does come to her and offer her that security of being a good man in a relationship, if she hasn't done this work on her own, she is not even going to recognize it when you bring it along. And you know what? I've learned to say, is, again, walking away from red flags. Hey, it's not that you're a bad woman. It's not that I'm a good guy. It's just we not for each other. So I'm going to leave you to go find a man you more compatible with, because we're not compatible there. And we can be friends, because I don't want enemies in the game. We can still be friends and kick it. But you're not the woman for me. So in terms of romantic, this isn't going anywhere else. Not for me. And that is, again, recognizing those loyalty wounds. And that also shows I have boundaries, and that I really am all about having healthy friendships. And lastly, that repair capacity. What did you learn from your dad? Sir, what did your dad teach you? And again, we're going to talk in another video, the problems that we as men have because of the wounds that we have from mama. But that's not for this discussion. What kind of repair capacity has this woman done? Has she done the work? I done spent 5 figures working on myself. So yes, I expect a woman to have done the same thing in her life. And if she hasn't, again, I bid her a farewell. Let her go find a man that may be working on himself at 50 years old as well. And gentlemen, that's what Iron Father is all about. DM me, send me an email at joinironfather@gmail.com. Let me help you work through those process, work through these things. Contact me, DM me, or again, send me an email, joinironfather@gmail.com. I'll send you this list, this list of 5. No strings attached, send it to you free, just something that you can have. So you don't have to go write everything down. And if you know any guys, or really ladies, I kind of spoke to you in this one as well. If you know any women that this could resonate from, let me know and share it. I want you to let me know down below, ladies, if you have seen you end up having problems in your own marriage or relationships because of the wounds that your dad left for you. B, I want to know, ladies, did you end up marrying a man that was very similar to the problems you had with your father? And then, gentlemen, one for you, let's say C. Let me know, how many women have you run into that have a good relationship with their fathers? I haven't hardly run into any at all. And shout out to those people who wanted to say about black fatherlessness, because yep, I'd have dated my share of snow bunnies, as y'all call them these days. And let me tell you, they fathers wasn't there for them either. And these were people born in the 60s, 70s, 80s, and maybe even 90s. Now, I'll leave that there. But point is, these women have had snow bunny, white women have had fathers that weren't there for them. So it sounds like we need to talk more about white fatherlessness. Now, I'm not going to go there. But you understand what I'm saying. This is something that involves every man. As I said, Iron Father, this is about things that involve every man. Ethnicity doesn't have anything to do with it, because we all struggling out here. So let me know in the comment section below if this applies to you. Thank y'all for joining. This is my first live. I might do this again. I just wanted to fire it up, see if it works. Trying to get it where I can share my screen, because I actually had a video that I'm going to put up on my YouTube. Again, that's Join Iron Father. That I'm going to put up, that actually had the video from that I use as kind of the launching pad that I thought summarized this a little bit better as well, to at least kind of get the structure going. So we're going to work on this live. I'm going to get it down. But I don't have a problem just going live mic, that's for sure. So definitely subscribe for more. If it was something that resonated to you, check out the Iron Father Radio podcast. That's on wherever you listen to your podcast at. I had a guy tell me, hey, I'm walking around and I could be listening to your show. I can't do YouTube, but I can at least listen to it when I'm out in my truck. And I was like, hey, I appreciate that. So I know I do a bad job at advertising for the podcast. So definitely check that out if that's easier for you. And lastly, men, and I'm throwing this out there to ladies too, but definitely men, if you need some coaching, contact me. I don't want you guys out here struggling. A lot of you guys are talking about how you done with women and that's why you don't mess with women and blah, 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 blah. We got enough of that mess going on out here. And as I said, a lot of times the reason guys say that is not because it's a problem with the woman. It's because the problems that they also have in themselves. And sometimes it's the problems that they've even created inside their own daughters. Let's go ahead and create something better for our sons and daughters, because I want to make sure, darn sure, that whoever is going to marry one of my kids, that they're getting a good and healthy product. And I hope you have the same desire. All right, y'all, I'm out. and survive the unforgiving moment. And I definitely look forward to kicking it with y'all next time.